Okay, hi. Thanks for checking in. I'm Emma from Zimp Chocolates, and I wanted to make a video about two of our newest products because they're kind of exciting ones, at least I think they are. So we have, as always, vegan, milk, and white chocolate. And I'll leave maybe some links down below if you want to find them online. But I did want to go into a little bit of detail about these ones because they were no easy task to bring to fruition. Like a lot of good things, not that easy. I'm just glancing at my coffee. I put it so far away. Anyway, so yeah, so this is the white chocolate. It's called the white stuff. And people really like it. Like I'm personally not a fan of white chocolate. I never really have been, but I think over the years of just eating dark chocolate, yeah, my taste buds would need a little adjusting to this one. But you know, I have the opinion of many people's taste buds who I really trust and value, and this apparently is like amazing. And I do think it tastes very good. It's just I'm not a white chocolate person, but it's good stuff. It's not actually white in color, and that is because we use coconut sugar and maple sugar, and those both have like a little bit of a brown hue to them because they aren't refined. So yeah, the trace vitamins and minerals don't get extracted from those. So that was the first one, and then we also have the milkless whey. This is really good. Like I basically only eat dark chocolate because I only eat dark chocolate, unless I buy like I'm on vacation or something and buy like a chocolate bar somewhere and it's vegan and it's not dark chocolate. But yeah, this one I'm really also super happy with, and this one I relate to a little bit more because I don't know, I'm more of a milk chocolate. I guess it goes like dark milk white for me. This one got some pretty big thumbs up from a lot of people. To me it tastes kind of like those Lind chocolate balls that are really, really sweet. So it's similar flavor, just not as sweet. I'm not gonna try for that. But yeah, they're both really good. And so story time. These did take about, I guess, 15 months to come to fruition. So I started seriously experimenting with white chocolate last summer. This was when Zimt was operating out of 3 different locations, and the location in which I experimented with this was it's a room in a warehouse basically. So that's where we did all our shipping and stuff from, and yeah, storage. So I just set up shop one day and had like this little chocolate making machine, and I mean, I didn't sell it to anybody. Like it wasn't made in a food safe environment, so you can't sell it. But I did eat some weird tasting white chocolate. But yeah, so that happened. It's making real chocolate with dry sugars. It's not a quick process. Like I know you see a lot of recipes online, like, oh, maple syrup this or whatever, agave that, but it's technically, you shouldn't make chocolate that way because it doesn't really allow for the best temper with the cocoa butter, because fat and water, like anything with water content, they don't really mesh up that well. And what we want to get with chocolate is for the fat content to get crystallized appropriately, get all those beta-5 crystals in there, and that achieves a really nice sheen and a good snap to the product. So anyway, I digress. So yeah, that first test took, I think, a good just 2 days, and it's funny because like I wanted to keep an eye on the machine, but I didn't want to sleep at the warehouse, so I was like, oh, okay, I'll just bring it home, because that big. Like, it's not, you know, like, it's uncomfortable to carry, but it's, you know, nothing that my smart car can't handle. So I brought it home, and I put this kind of thicker carpeting underneath it, because it kind of makes a bit of noise, and I didn't want the neighbors to hear, but they heard, even though it was the top floor of the house. And I got this text like, are the pipes bursting? Like, what's going on? And it's because the machine was so loud. So anyways, that didn't last. Oh yeah, and then I had to bring it to, this story is going to be very confusing for you because you're not familiar with all the interesting logistics I went through last year with Zimt, but maybe you are, but probably not. Then I had to bring it to the chocolate factory that has a hot room, so where these really big machines run and generate a lot of heat. And so I had to leave it there to melt, because after unplugging it at home, you know, it solidifies, and once it's solidified, it won't, like, the machine can't churn it and make it work. So anyway, so I went through a few more tests of that just to get it like really perfect, and you know, as close to traditional white chocolate using really untraditional ingredients as I could. And then I was really happy with the result. I think it's good stuff, even though it's not my favorite. You know, I like the dark chocolate, but I'm gonna stop saying that. So yeah, that happened. And then at first I formulated the milk chocolate from a combination of the dark and the white chocolate, because that's what I learned about in the little bit of research I did. But the temper didn't hold properly, so I had to do a last minute adjustment on that, and I guess it was for the better, because it turned out really, really tasty. So I'm happy. Just, yeah, I don't know, such a relief when that turns out. And then there came the challenge of scaling up. So little machines, things are pretty easy. Like, yeah, I don't know, they're pretty, like, I don't know, they're just not overwhelming. Like, the machines that we work with on a daily basis, they aren't huge, but they're like small scale industrial, and you know, they have heavy components, like very heavy components. I don't usually like a lot of people to handle them, so that's my job. Yeah, scaling up is another thing, because it's not just about, oh, you know, like increasing things proportionately so that you can, you know, optimize on batch quantities. It's like, how will it work in different equipment? And for the milk chocolate, it took 5 days actually for it to temper properly in our one machine. And the frustrating thing is, like, okay, so I reached out to the equipment manufacturer immediately, like when there were issues with getting it tempered, right? So this was on, I think, a Thursday. It was a Thursday, yeah. And then anyways, it took like 5 days for me to get a decent response, which involved like FaceTime or like WhatsApp time or whatever it is. FaceTime. And I don't know how to describe, like, my brain doesn't do so well in these situations. Like, if it's just hard work, that's fine. Like, I will get it done, no problem. But if it's something I don't understand and I don't see like a path to a solution, and if I've reached out for help from those who could provide a solution and it's not coming back to me, and I've troubleshooted as much as I can, it just there's like pressure from orders have to, you know, orders have to be fulfilled and all that stuff, then that's a little rough. Yeah, so that was an interesting 5 days of just like waiting to you know, to do this FaceTime whatever call, which, by the way, the solution could have been achieved through like maybe a 3-liner email or a text message, like anything. But that's fine, because ultimately it worked out. I didn't sleep too much, because who can sleep when they've got that on the brain. Who can sleep when their white chocolate just isn't turning out? It's so rough. No, but it is like, it's kind of like a life thing, you know. I'm like, oh, this will be great to have this product out there and people will really enjoy it. And okay, so anyway, so vegan milk, vegan white chocolate, they're nut free, not coconut free. They definitely have coconut in them, which in my mind is fine. I like coconut. They don't taste like coconut though. I'm more saying this as like an allergen thing. Yeah, so we got vegan milk, vegan white chocolate, dairy free, of course, because we are a vegan company. If you couldn't tell that already. There's very good reason for that. Like, I don't know how familiar you are with the dairy industry, but I would invite you to look into it. It's kind of it's a lot of there's a lot of crazy stuff that goes on. So don't particularly want to support that. I could give examples. I might give one example. I'll give one example. So the natural lifespan of a cow who is well taken care of, it's up to 25 years, which is pretty good. Cows in like industrial dairy production, right? They maybe make it to 4 or 5 years. And it's not because they die because they're exhausted. Like, they are exhausted, right? Like, they're forcibly impregnated, like, as much as possible, because then they produce milk, and then, you know, people buy milk, and then sets go up, and all that stuff. But yeah, they usually die, like, between 4 and 5 years old. So, like, you know, maybe like a fifth of their lifespan is carried out. And again, it's not because they just die, but they're sent to slaughter because, you know, the body can only produce efficiently, you know, or meet quotas, I should say, for that many years, because it is a lot of stress on them. And yeah, look into like small scale dairy and all that stuff. I'm not saying that like every single cow on the planet is treated horribly, like especially if, you know, they're in rescues and all that sort of stuff, which we support. But yeah, I would encourage you to look into dairy if you haven't already. I'll leave some links below. There's one website I feel like I gained quite a bit from. They've got some good information. It's called Free from Harm, I think. So I'll link them down below. They've got some credible sources as far as I can tell. So yeah, check that out. And I hope you get to try new things. I hope you really like them. And thank you so much as always. I really appreciate it. Okay, until soon-ish.